Hey, yo, what's good? You know what it is. You back with another episode of No More Timeouts. You know you rocking with your boy Rosh and JJ. Here for another one. What's up, man? How
Yeah,
you doing?
I'm good, brother. How you doing? It's the weekend. The sun is out. It feels good, bro. Football was on Thursday. I am so juiced for this weekend. How you feeling?
Bro, I've been you since Wednesday. I'm
Man,
like, I literally just been like super excited. I'm like,
same.
it's like a little kid knowing Christmas is around the corner and you can't open your gifts until the morning. You know, that's how I feel right now. It's crazy. I was like thinking how football is like America. They say baseball is America's favorite pastime. When are they going to change that saying? Because we all
Oh
know.
no, it's football. It's football.
Yeah,
Yeah,
for
it's
sure,
outdated.
100%. Like, and go ahead.
Okay. Well, I feel like the summer was dragging a long time, bro. Like there was nothing really going on in August and really July. I was like, damn, bro. Like
Yeah.
there's nothing
Even
going on sports wise.
even baseball kind of was boring. Like, didn't even like. Usually there's something, but I don't know. It just wasn't exciting. Honestly, I think also with me, the older I get, the more baseball just gets like turned off to me. So I don't even care. It's nothing against baseball. I don't want anybody to knock baseball. I understand it. I played it as a kid. I love it. It's fun to watch during the playoffs for me. But it just never was a game that completely caught my attention. Even as a kid, I was good at it, but I only like playing it. You know what I'm saying? I never really liked watching it. Everybody went to the A's games and all that stuff. I just went because people were going to the game to go chill with the homies. I never really went for baseball.
The games are fun. Yeah, the games are fun to go to, but like even living in LA, obviously I'm not getting to see the Giants or A's out here, so it's even harder. And I'm definitely not just gonna sit down on an evening and watch the Dodgers. I'll do something productive. Fuck that.
I mean, though, the funny thing is, I watch them shits in thirds. I'm either watching the first third or the last third. I don't want to watch the whole thing. And it's crazy. One of my friends said, he was like, "Man, how y'all got a sports podcast? You don't talk about baseball much." I said, "I'm going to talk about something I don't like." he was like, "That's disrespect." I said, "No, it's not. It's the truth."
Hey, when something happens, when the playoffs come, we'll tap into it for sure. For sure.
Definitely, exactly, definitely. Yeah. I said, but for now, it's football time.
It is, and we got to start with Colorado, man. Primetime Deion Sanders. He basically took over the sports headlines the entire week with that upset versus TCU last Saturday. His son is the quarterback, which is another crazy storyline. Threw for 500 yards, 4 touchdowns, set a school record. What was your thoughts seeing that game? I don't know if you watched it live or saw highlights, but what was your thoughts seeing Deion get his first win?
I actually watched that whole thing and I didn't even know they were playing. I woke up that morning and I just turned my TV on because I was getting ready for my to head to SAC from my fantasy football draft from all my longtime high school friends, and it was on, and we were all talking about it, watching it, and I was like, "Bruh," it made me, as a black man, it made me smile. And as a football enthusiast, it also made me smile because one thing I noticed when he started coaching Prime a long time ago, they really, really downplayed him. They really, really didn't give him his flowers. They didn't think he was going to be able to be or even turn a program how it is. And then also like with his son, I really feel like a lot of people were like, the only reason why his son is in this position because of who his dad is. His son really showed that he can play the game and he can play the position. Regardless of who my daddy is or if my dad's the coach or not, I know what I'm doing. And I think that was amazing to see. I'm very proud of Prime. Like, I'm very happy. I really hope they make some noise. I really hope that, they can make a run and probably even get to the college football, playoffs. I know that might be a stretch for the first year, but if it happens, that'll be amazing. But man, I'm proud of Prime, man. Honestly, man, because people count him out all his life, and he just keeps proving people wrong. So.
Yeah, I something you said too. It shows that you don't have to have like the straight and narrow, black man to run your program. He can just be himself, and he has the experience, bro. Like he doesn't have to be coaching for 20 years. He's the best cornerback to ever play football. So like that's the best experience you could have if you played the game. There's nothing else on your resume that can top that. You know what I mean? But yeah, I agree. Colorado, man. Obviously, I got some ties to them. My uncle Cliff played for Colorado, so I'm already kind of going for them. And then his son Brant was on the '90s Rose Bowl team, so I texted him. He was at the game. He lives in the Dallas area where TCU is, so he went to the game. But yeah, I'm pulling for them. Shador, man, he looks good. I didn't get to see him. I saw one game at Jackson State, but it's really cool to see him doing this, bro. He's shutting everybody up. You know what I mean? He's shutting everybody up with this. The Pac-12 is tough this year. There's Oregon, USC. There's a lot of teams in that conference. But to get that first one versus a team that got second, they were in a championship game last year. So it's crazy to see that.
That was my whole thing. I was like, that's what I'm talking about. You know what I'm saying? I'm not gonna lie. I'm watching the game right now. He kind of
struggling,
starting off slow, but it'll be all right. I think at the end of the day, it's all about poise, and the kid has poise, man. I will say this. I really, really want to see a wider resume for the next level. But I feel like for his first game, he really put his arm on display. Like he was letting that shit slang, boy. He was like a lot of dudes were wide open. I'm not gonna lie, but there were some throws he fit in there. And honestly, man, but the person I want to talk about, that's what I was going to say.
We got to talk about Travis Hunter. Go ahead.
That interception was unworldly. That intercept, bro. He took the ball out of his hands.
Yeah,
but I replayed that shit like 3 times. Like I literally was I didn't even know what happened. I thought the ball was like either overthrown or tipped out, and then when I realized that when he came out of it, I said, "Oh my god!" Like, cause he was like that was one of those you're literally maybe not in the best position, but then you turn around and you capitalize by your athleticism, and he turned, bro. That kid, the truth. And then did you not see on IG though they put up a video of him playing hoop?
Yeah, dunking, windmills, bro. He's an athlete. I've never seen anybody play. I think they said he played 124 snaps in the game. That is crazy. Nobody can say they've done that at the Division I level. Maybe high school. Didn't they used to have a rule in high school like you only could play like 2 quarters or something both ways? No, that wasn't a rule.
Not when I was there, because I know I played both ways, fucking both times.
Yeah,
and it honestly is crazy because it just goes to show you the talent he has. Because in high school you play both ways. That's because you're the best athlete on the team. Most of the time, that's really what it is. The best athletes on the team are always going to play both ways. But in college, you are pretty much. College where they start, training like NFL. You got offense and you got defense. So if you get to that level and you're playing both ways, you nice, bro. You something special. Like you're not even like, because at the end of the day, let's be honest, there's not a lot of people that played both ways go even in college. You know what I'm saying? There's probably only like 2 people. One, actually, I would say 2. Is it 2 or 1 that did it in the NFL? Which Dion was one. Like
Dion, I know Charles Woodson sometimes maybe would line up as wide receiver like every once in a while, but nobody to this level. And when he gets to the NFL, they're gonna have to give him a chance. Devin Hester
did. He did. He did. But then after that, he just ended up switching completely to the offensive side. So it was like, bruh, and honestly, for the kid doing that and wanting to keep doing it, he pretty much he has the best coach to coach him on how to do it. But I just don't. My only thing is, I just hope they don't burn him out. You know what I'm saying? I hope
they're gonna have to come back.
I hope there's a corner there ready to play in his spot so he can, at least. But I feel like when it comes to big plays, big third and longs, or something where you will know that they're really gonna throw the ball and you need somebody to get locked up, bam, throw him in the game.
We'll see what the NFL says. Like, what is his better position? Are they gonna just say, "Oh, we're drafting him as a corner," or are we going to draft him as a receiver? Like, I don't know how the NFL views him or what he even thinks is his better position right now. But he's only a sophomore, so we still got another year to see.
From what I've seen so far, I would definitely for sure say receiver, just because he has a more of a skill set. And I don't know. I didn't really see too much tackling out of him in the corner position, But hey, it's only been one game, so I didn't
We'll
really
see.
see too many Jackson State games. So.
Yeah. Well, let's get into the first game of the NFL season. Chiefs Lions. Chiefs unveiled their banner. Ring. It wasn't ring night, but they unveiled their banner. Travis Kelce got hurt early in the week. Hyperextended his knee, and he actually didn't play. Sorry, fantasy owners. I know a lot of people were hurt about that. Chris Jones was sitting in a box, bro. That was kind of crazy to see too. But yeah, they went down 21-20. What do you think watching that game?
Honestly, speaking on the Chris Jones tip, I'm surprised he was even at the game.
What was that about, bro? Like, what are you doing?
You want to know what it is, bro? I'm telling you, it was one of those. I told y'all. I told y'all.
Yeah, but all right, you're gonna hold out, but you're just gonna sit in a box with your agents. Like those look like his agents, right? Yeah.
I'm gonna come watch it, and every time nigga miss a tackle, say I wouldn't have missed that.
Everybody on Twitter was like, "Oh, Chris Jones won tonight," because
easily. And that's what it was for. That's why he went. Yeah. He was like, "Watch, I'm gonna watch them lose, and then I'm gonna let them know they need me." But I'm gonna say that game was, first of all, it's great to see football back. It definitely was probably one of the more excited Thursday night games that we've ever seen, to be honest. Usually these games are fucking ass, like hella trash. It was cool to see that as a Raider fan, to be honest, that Patrick Mahomes is human, without the superhuman weapons that he's had over the years. You can see that he's human. It was sad though, because I kind of feel like, and honestly, I'm mad about it because I literally had an itch to play Kadarius Toney in my fantasy, one of my fantasy teams, and that boy gave me half a point. I just don't get how you drop that many passes, to be honest, man. Them shits was hitting him in the hands. I don't know what was wrong with him. My boy made a hella funny, bruh. My boy made a hella funny joke. You remember The Longest Yard, where Brucey, where he said, "Oh, shouldn't ate that popcorn before the game."
That boy did have some butterfinger hands, bro.
Bruh. But it was one of those things where I also feel bad for Patrick, because he was actually still doing Patrick. He was balling, and niggas were just dropping the ball, and that's just kind of sucks. But hey, I'm gonna say like this: I'm gonna stop discrediting. I'm gonna stop discrediting and making excuses for the Chiefs. Them Lions came to play, and they didn't give up. You know what I'm saying? They didn't give in. They didn't wilter at the moment because of who they were playing. They came to play, and their team actually looks good.
Yeah, that's the biggest thing. I thought they were going to be a little afraid of the moment. It's the Chiefs. It's the first game. Everybody's watching that game, and if you're the Lions, bro, you've had 30 years of nothing, and that's what you walk into. But yeah, shout out to Amon-Ra, shout out to Jared Goff, bro. Them dudes, they not afraid. I heard Goff talking after the game. He sounds like he was not trying to give Mahomes no credit. He was just like, "Yo, we nice too." He's like, "Yeah, he's good, but like, we good." Yeah.
The one thing I will also say is, did you see the Chiefs left tackle cheating the whole time, bro? Oh my god, it was the right tackle. It was the right tackle.
If they don't call that 3 times when we play them, I'm throwing something at the TV screen.
Bruh, this nigga was. I was watching it.
He wasn't even on the line.
At a certain, even with that, he was gone before the ball was like. Half the time over here, like, is anybody watching that side? Like, is anybody watching? Because he is off the ball before the ball is even in the air. Like, bruh, he was. I was like, there's no way you're that get off. You're not timing Patrick Mahomes shit like that. So you mean to tell me you know exactly when the fucking center is snapping the ball? I was so fucking mad. I felt bad for Aiden Hutchinson, bro. He was killing. He still had a good game, but the dude was cheating the whole fucking time. Fucking cheating ass fucking tackle. No wonder you good. Jesus, bro.
But he was starting off doing a stanky leg before he even started. Like, what are you doing with your leg?
Moving.
What are you doing?
Moving, hella shit. I literally at one point I was like, bro, come on, are we gonna give these guys the pretty much with a champion factor already? Like that you ain't gonna
That's what it
call shit on
was.
the left tackle on the
Yeah,
tackle. Like, come on, bro. Like, but honestly, man, that shit did piss me off. But other than that, the game was good to see. I definitely seen a lot of positive things. I enjoyed it. I was good for. I feel bad for all the fantasy owners that took Jameer Gibbs and were really really
man,
happy
they
to
got to
see.
free Jameer, bro.
Yeah, but you also have to know he's a rookie. They did bring in David Montgomery for a reason. If they knew they were going to get him, they wouldn't, go after it. And at the end of the day, David Montgomery's a real good running back. So he showed it. He's a grinder, you know what I'm saying? And that's what you need. But it was cool to see. I'm very excited to see what the Lions do this year. I even said it myself a while back that I thought they were going to be good this year. So
yeah, we're gonna get into our NFL predictions, division winners, wild card, Super Bowl in a second. But yeah, on the Lions part, it's the first one. I'm not gonna get too crazy for them, and I still think the Chiefs are gonna be okay. At the end of the day, probably Travis Kelce will be back next week, right? Like probably. So I'm not celebrating too hard, but I'm hyped.
After them losing, you know he coming back. Hell yeah,
Oh, for sure, he'll be back. They got
every
Jackson.
Raider fan was juiced they lost, bro. Every one of us. If you can sit here and say you did it, you smoking weed. And I got Patrick Mahomes on half of my team. So I'm still happy if he lost.
Yeah.
So
yeah. So let's Raiders Broncos week 1, man. Let's get into that. Preview that game. We got to start with Chandler Jones first off. I don't know what it is. I have a feeling. I think I know what it is, but I'm not gonna just come out here and say it. But
you got to say, cause I don't know. I don't know what's going on. This is probably the most surprised and I would say unprepared for a story that I have ever had because I don't know. I couldn't tell you what's happening.
So the only one that I could say is like highlighted to me is when he tagged Alden Smith and AB. I think that's the one that you got to look at when he said, "I want to talk to AB and Alden Smith." I think that's the one where I'm like, all right, maybe he needs to just sit down for a second. You know what I mean? And we don't know what it is, but I'm just gonna say, if you tagging AB and Alden Smith in a post together, especially playing for the Raiders, those two guys for the Raiders franchise are not like too much. So yeah, that's all I'm gonna say on that front. We're gonna wait and see. Obviously, it's Tyree Wilson's time, bro.
I would say some shit. It was funny. I told one of my friends that I feel like he was on a coke bender the whole night before this thing woke up tripping.
But it's crazy because his brother's John Jones too, which is crazy. You know what I mean? So hey, there's a lot of this could go so many different ways, but we just gonna wait and see. John Jones is kind of crazy.
It is. Well, but besides that, this game means a lot for what to expect for the rest of the season. And I know it's game 1, and a lot of people are going to say that, and it's just only one game, regardless of what happens. But I think what they need to understand is how we come out and how we play, dealing with all the things with Josh in the offseason, Devontae not happy, even though, because he was not happy all throughout camp, seeing how Jimmy fits in this system that he's known. So, at the end of the day, this is something that is supposed to happen. We're supposed to be good with this system. It's going to see a lot, but only thing I'm all here for is our defense. Offensively, I can care less to what we do. I know we're going to most likely just run the ball, and just kind of have a very, I would say, ball controlled type of offense. I want to see what our defense does. I want to see if they attack the ball. I want to see how our secondary acts. I want to see, if we can actually stop the run this year. There's a lot of things that I want to see, and I know even though it's one game, you can still see a lot from that first game to see how they prepared all year through camp. So,
yeah. I agree with the defense. I want to see Jacorian Bennett. It sounds they've been talking him up a lot. Forcing turnovers is something our defense hasn't done in years. I think that's the biggest thing that I want to see. This is the perfect time to catch the Broncos, bro. Like they're banged up. They do have a really good secondary, so I want to see how we match up. But I'm not really worried about our offense too much. it's a good time to go on the road, but it is the first game of the year. But I think it is a must win. I do. I think it's a must win because if you look at the first quarter of the season, we're going to Buffalo, coming back for Pittsburgh, and then the Chargers. Like that's not easy. So we got to get this first one, bro. This one's important for real because I think Buffalo. I think they are going to lose to the Jets for week 1. So I think they're gonna be ready for us week 2. You know what I mean? So we gotta get this first one. We gotta get this first one. What you think about Josh? Though? You think Josh is gonna just get a regular workload, or you think they're gonna?
Nah, I think that like I said when we said last episode, I think he gonna get exactly what he got last year because at the end of the day, 1 year contract, it's 2 things. Either we gonna run him into the ground and see if he can handle it. You know what I'm saying? And that's what it is because he's on a 1 year. You know, that's how they treat people on 1 years. All right, you're giving us 1 year. We're gonna use you to our full effect, and you know whatever happens after the year, that's on you. And we'll see if we resign you. If not, you know, good luck with your banged up body until your next stop. So, and at the end of the day, I think for Jimmy to be comfortable and for anything to work for us, we have to run the ball, and we have to run the ball successfully. Because our offensive line, we were good. Our offensive line is good, but they're not that good to be able to keep. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? A little bit above average to keep a good pass rushing team off of us. And at the end of the day, the Broncos have a good defense as a whole. Period. Like not just they of course they don't have Bradley Chubb anymore. You know they don't have the ends and stuff that they wanted. I'll say, but still they have some good players. They have some good pieces, and to keep them off balance, I definitely would see us running the ball like crazy. But man, I'm just excited, man.
All right, let's get into division winners. We're gonna go division by division, and then we're gonna give wild card picks, and then we're gonna finish off with our Super Bowl predictions. Let's start in the NFC. I feel like the AFC is kind of crazy. Let's build up to that. Let's start in the NFC. It's a little more straight, I feel like it's not as crazy, straightforward. Let's start with the NFC North. The Vikings won it last year. Who do you got winning that division?
So this is actually going to be kind of a hot take, and just because I think that I think the kid is actually going to be good. I can see the Bears winning it by a slim margin. And I say this just because I feel like the Vikings' schedule this year might be a little tougher. And then also the Vikings kind of skated by on a lot of their wins last year. There was a lot of last minute end of the game wins. Some games they should have actually really lost. They end up getting real lucky, which is the fucking story of their fucking franchise. Always fucking get lucky. But I really think that in my heart, I really believe the Bears have a really good chance. But it's all on Justin Fields. It's all on kind of how he turns out. If he does have a second year, kind of like how Jalen Hurts had, his third. I think it's his third year. Right? Yeah, his third year. So if Justin Fields, if he has kind of a Jalen Hurts third year, then there's a real good chance of being good, and doing something. But that's my hot take, of course. But at the end of the day, the Vikings are favored to win. But if the Bears win it, I would not be surprised.
Okay, I'm going with the Lions. I feel like it's crazy that they play every Thanksgiving, and we always have to watch them. And I'm like, why are we always having to watch the Lions on Thanksgiving? But I think I just think it's their time, man. I think 30 years of misery in football. It's just time for they've had the Packers in the division who've had a chokehold on the division for 30 years with Brett Favre and then Aaron Rodgers, and the Vikings his last couple of years. But I just think it's the Lions' turn. I think they got everything. Hopefully they use Jahmyr Gibbs a little bit different. I think they're gonna just kind of slowly bring him in a little bit more. But I like what I saw from their defense with CJ Gardner-Johnson and Branch, their rookie. So I'm going with the Lions. I like what they're doing.
I definitely like that pick. It was definitely, but for me, it was one of those things where I wanted to take. I really, really, really want to give Justin Fields the benefit of the doubt of having his third year and thinking that he might
Yeah.
end up. So, I actually, I definitely the Lions. I feel that's for sure thing. Like it's damn near like it, but I wanted to
Gotta
give
see it.
somebody a little. I
Yeah.
want to see something. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So.
Let's go to the NFC East. I feel like this is. I mean, the national media talks about this one the most. With the Giants, Cowboys, and then the Eagles going to the Super Bowl, and even the Commanders. I mean, Sam Howell, new quarterback. Who you got in this division? Oh, let me actually give you a stat. I like this stat. Before you go, nobody has won this division 2 years in a row in 20 years. That's a big stat, bro. So the Eagles won it last year. So if they win it again, this will be the first time in 20 years somebody's won the division 2 years in a row. So go ahead.
I hate to say it, but it's kind of looking like this might be the year that happens. Because we don't look at the end of the day, the Commanders are rebuilding. Sam Howell, we don't know who he is. We don't know what he is yet. The Giants, I feel like the Giants are the Giants, and the Giants have forever been a wild card team, forever been a middle of the pack, fight through it to get to the ship. So I kind of feel like
even when they
when
won
they
the
won the
Super
rings.
Bowls.
Yep.
Yeah, wild card.
So I think and for me, the Cowgirls are good, but I just feel that I said girls. Yeah, Drew. I know you heard that.
Damn, Drewski.
But man, trust me, I got a bunch of Cowboy fans, but you heard me, I don't care. And then I honestly feel that they are not consistent enough game to game, not season to season, game to game. I feel like one game you'll get the chance to win the Super Bowl, Dak, the offense is flowing, defense is clicking. In one game, the defense gets who they are, the offense is fucking booming, the offense gets who they are, the defense is booming. You never get that. They never play a complete game together. And at the end of the day, let's be honest, man, the Eagles were a couple plays away from winning it. And all they really lost was like Hargraves and a couple other people. I don't really think everything's gonna change. And I think that their offense was so efficient and proficient that, I think it's just gonna repeat itself the next year. So I'm gonna give it to the Eagles, to be honest. And with the Cowboys, if the Cowboys get their shit together, I'll give them a close second because their defense is good. But I actually think it's just gonna be the Eagles, and the rest of them gonna be fighting for that wild card spot, to be honest. So
you know what? I agree. You try to look away. Normally a Super Bowl team who loses isn't that great the next year. They usually kind of have a hangover, but they kind of reloaded a little bit with their defense.
Yeah.
Getting DeAndre Swift too, which is kind of a sneaky, catching passes, can do some different things.
And Penny too.
And Penny, so yeah, I can't go away from the Eagles, man. I love Devontae Smith. I got the Eagles again. We'll see about the Cowboys. It's just always something. Like I just feel like they're good, but then they'll lose to I don't know, just somebody random. Like they'll lose to the Rams or something. Like it'll be something crazy with them. I don't know. They're probably wild card, but not division.
Yeah, at the end of the day, I think this is going to be kind of like how it was last year. They're going to have a really good record, and they're just hoping that the Eagles lose a couple of games so they can win it. There's going to be first wild card team in. I think this is how it is at this point because I think that the Eagles are just really right now. The Eagles are becoming a cut above, and if they can keep that team together and Kessie just keep Jalen Hurts healthy, then I don't see them honestly not dominating this division for at least another couple of years. So.
Let's go to the NFC South. We got rookie quarterbacks in Bryce Young. We got Ritter and the Falcons. We got Baker Mayfield with he is a rookie. We got Baker Mayfield with the Bucks, and then Mr. Carr in the NFC South with the Saints. I think this is a kind of an easy one, but who you got in this division?
I'm riding with my car, bro. Stop playing with me, man. I don't care what nobody says, man. People really need to understand. I will stand by this. This is gonna be my, forever in years when you have an argument with other Raider fans, because Raider fans will understand this. We have arguments all the time about people that we were potentially could have been who they were supposed to be with us, the things that could have happened, all that shit. I will always argue this factor that if we gave Derek Carr a top 15 defense or a defense that was decent, that we could have won a ring within the years of him being here. So I'm going to sit here and I'm going to ride with my boy because now he has a defense with the Saints. I think they'll be half decent. I think they'll make some noise, and I think he's going to show who he is because he'll be able to have good field position, have the ball in his hand more than, a couple drives a freaking a half. We actually be able to really do some shit. So I'm riding with my car because I know my car still work. I don't fuck with none of y'all niggas talking about. Anybody got a problem with it? Holla at me.
Your car still works. Let me. I saw this tweet, bro, and I gotta just read this. So these are the quarterbacks that Derek Carr is playing this year. This is crazy, by the way. Ryan Tannehill, Bryce Young, Jordan Love, Baker Mayfield, Mac Jones, C.J. Stroud, Trevor Lawrence, Anthony Richardson, Justin Fields, Kirk Cousins, Desmond Ridder, Jared Goff, Bryce Young, Daniel Jones, Matthew Stafford, Baker Mayfield, Desmond Ridder. That's who he's playing this year. If the Saints don't go, if they don't get the 1 seed, bruh, I don't want to hear nothing from that man. If he don't get the 1, if they don't go 13-4, they got to go 13-4 playing that, bro. There's no Lamar Jackson. There's no Patrick Mahomes. There's no Joe Burrow. There's no Jalen Hurts. He's not playing none of those guys. No Dak Prescott. He's not playing nobody.
The best quarterback he played is Trevor Lawrence.
It's Trevor Lawrence, bro. That is crazy to me. He got to go 13-4 with that team.
Hey, I seen that shit. When it came out. I said, see? And that's why the funny thing is that is exactly going to be the storyline next year. He's going to have a good season. He's going to have a good season. He's going to turn around. And we go, hey, if we don't have a good season too, trust me, it's going to be on. It's feeling. I feel bad for this. That's the only thing I feel bad for Jimmy. Because we got a harder record. We got a harder road for them.
We always got a hard schedule. I feel like they still got it out for us for some reason. We always got a hard-ass schedule.
Come on,
man.
We
won 6 games. Why do we got this hard-ass schedule?
Come on, man. Honestly, man, I said it, and I always say it. I remember I sat down and watched the 30 for 30 about us, the Raiders versus the freaking refs a long time ago. I think it was an E60 doc. With the Al Davis thing. And I literally told my boy, I said, that is the reason right there why we're forever going to struggle to get back to the Super Bowl. I was like,
you're not going to do us any favors for sure.
Yeah, they got something out for us forever, and it's forever going to be like that. I don't think it's ever going to change, dude. Like, the only thing that might change is the fact that we have Tom Brady in our front office now. You know what I'm saying? Like that's the chance. You know what I'm saying? So, but other than that, it's kind of a wrap in my eyes. But oh man, I'm telling you, the car is where it's at, man. I'm telling you, I believe in New Orleans.
We're gonna see, bro. This is your year.
I've always been a New Orleans fan too. I think people need to understand that. I don't care what people consider and say I'm riding the. I've been a New Orleans fan when they had Drew Brees. So I really started cheering for them because I like Drew a lot. So I think Derek has a chance to go down there and do exactly what Drew did, revamp his career.
Okay, we're gonna see, but again, this is his best chance to do it. Next up, NFC West. The Niners, bro, they've had a lot of stuff going on that's not football related. The storyline all summer was a third string quarterback situation. That finally got resolved, which I told y'all he was not gonna make the team. I've been told you guys he was not gonna make that team, and he was not gonna be on the Niners day one. But yeah, he's on the Cowboys now, and then Bosa's holdout. He finally got his deal. Highest paid defensive player. He kind of put them in a tough situation. He knew they were going to have to cave. He's the best player. They need him.
He didn't want to go. He didn't want to go to camp. Let's just be honest here.
He never wants to go to camp.
Yeah,
he never.
And second of all, how do I say this? I think this is more so one of those things where Bosa knows that without him, that defense will struggle. And I'm not. Sure. And at the end of the day, any Niner fan can be honest here. No Bosa, you're struggling because your pressure on the quarterback is the main reason why your defense is so good. Like, and you've seen it in past years when he is neutralized, they are figuring him out. you guys most of the time lose those games. But when he's a factor, he's a factor. I think the more tougher situation that he put them in was how much money he turned around to get. Because now, like we talked about it, it was crazy because, we're talking to Jasper and Travis last 2 episodes, talking about how everybody's paid. Yeah, everybody's paid hella fucking money. Like, bro, like if you look at who's owed for the next couple years, bro, it is so much money across the board. And it's only like 8 fucking players. Like,
yeah, Ayuk is coming up next, and we're gonna see how they're gonna be able to pay Ayuk. I don't see how it's gonna happen. These wide receiver twos, like you even see it with the Bengals, like they're not gonna be able to sign T. Higgins either. No. So like they don't have the money for it.
I think even like when Greenlaw's contract comes up, they're gonna have to pay some people in their secondary. Ufanga have a good season. I'm pretty sure he's on he wasn't a rookie last year. I think he was second year last year, if I remember. I could be wrong. They're gonna have to pay him. I'm pretty sure the contract that they gave that Chris McCaffrey came over on should probably be over. I think not next year, but the following year after that. Trent Williams is always gonna ask for fucking more money. Kittle's gonna, what I'm saying? That's what I'm saying. Like, and then what happens when if Brock pans out? His rookie deal is going to be over not too much longer. You have to pay him too. Somebody gonna go.
I can see Kittle. I can see Kittle being the first one that they ship out. Yeah, I can see that too. Do you got them winning the division though?
Who else? I think we still need to see what the Seahawks are, even though they did good last year. I feel like the second year in this system is really going to show us more. I won't count them out. I'm for sure counting the Rams out because they're ass. Fucking the Cardinals, the Cardinals over here selling the farm, bro. Like I said, God. I thought we was taking for Caleb. These boys is blatantly taking.
That man said, "I'll go back to school if you guys try to draft me." That's how bad he don't want to go there. He said, "I will go back to school and sit in a math class before I go to Arizona."
Bro, when I seen that, it was so funny because I didn't really put 2 and 2 together at first. I was like, I see the report, and then I thought about it. I remember he said that and it was like right after another report had came out, and then I was like, oh, this nigga's talking about the Cardinals.
It's the coach too. It's the coach. Like I've seen some videos. He's like, choom, choom, choom. Like, what are you doing? Like, who are you talking to like that? You're talking to adults? Like, what are you doing? But yeah, it got to be a special thing that you'd rather, sit in a class than go make millions and millions of dollars. He's probably making millions already at USC, but that's crazy that he don't want to go to the Cardinals. I feel him.
I feel it too. But his dad was right though. If you really look at it, his dad made a good point. And then the thing about the NFL is you always go into the worst team, worst situation, and it sucks. But at the end of the day, that's the point of being a rookie quarterback and being on a team. You were projected to come in and be the number 1 pick and be something to help change the program. Nobody's gonna say you're gonna win the first year. You know what I'm saying? I think that's another thing too. Like I think that's the one thing where his dad needs to kind of stay in his fucking lane. And be like, and know at the end of the day, no program is going to automatically win. You're not going to get the opportunity to have let's say, kind of like how the Warriors and Jordan Poole. I mean, Warriors and Wiseman. You know what I'm saying? And when we had Jordan too, like we sucked one year really, really bad. And we got a high pick and we ended up getting somebody. And at the end of the day, dude didn't even work out, but still we had a high pick. And then we turned around and we, had good seasons after that. But that was just because we were plagued by injuries, flagged by a lot of people not being able to play. So when we got everybody back, it was a good system. Like you don't really get that in the NFL, you don't really get that opportunity to go into a good team. And honestly, I think that's another thing too. I hope that his dad doesn't become the LeVar Ball of fucking football and turn around and fuck it up for his own son by talking too goddamn much. Because at the end of the day, NFL teams don't like that shit either. And as good as you are, that'll fuck up your money.
Yeah, I think it's too early for him to even look at what's going on in the draft next year. There's, and if you look at it, even the people that got the first pick, they've been trading that pick a lot to for 3-4 future first picks. Like the Bears just traded it, so I don't know. I wouldn't even just say for sure the Cardinals would take him at 1. But I got the Niners too for sure. I got the Niners. All right, let's go over to the AFC. Let's start with our division, AFC West. Okay,
I'm just kidding. I'm just.
All right, I got the Chiefs.
I don't even care. I don't even care if they fucking lost. Honestly,
I got
I'm gonna be real with you. I low key got the Chargers.
You got it.
I'm gonna tell you why. The Chiefs. So if Jones does not come back, because he said he's willing to hold out till week 8.
Oh, he's coming back. He's not coming back before that.
It's also if he does not come back before that, I got the Chargers just based on the amount of games that he's going to play and they're going to have. They're going to make a difference because you can honestly see defensively he makes a real big difference for them, like a real big difference. And I think that I feel that the Chargers had a blunder last year. Herbert had a blunder last year. At the end of the day, he's a talent. He's a really talented player. I honestly really see them, especially with this system, that because the Cowboys were running this system last year and they was going crazy offensively. You know what I'm saying? But they would just have games, like I said, remember, where they weren't putting it together the whole game. So I think Herbert is a better quarterback than Dak. And I think that they have more weapons than the Cowboy has. I'm not gonna sit here and say their receivers are better than CD, but I will say they have more weapons because they also still have Eckler, who I do believe Eckler is better than Tony Pollard. So it's like they have more weapons around for the system to be ran efficiently. And I think at the end of the day, out of everybody in our division right now, they're probably the team that is the most prepared to be able to turn around and win it. Because I feel like the Chiefs gonna be dealing with this shit that they're dealing with all year. So
yeah, the Chargers on paper should have at least 3 or 4 Super Bowls in the last 10 years, or at least last 15, 20, especially like those LaDainian Tomlinson teams, them Drew Brees teams, and Phillip Rivers teams. They've had so many talented teams, and something just always goes wrong. So I can never. I could never believe in them until they do it. I don't know what's going on. My security guard downstairs is a diehard Charger fan, and I talk to him all the time, and he's just like, bro, this is our year. And I'm just like, how do you even believe?
I remember that.
Remember him last year? And we were coming back from the game, and he was just like, hey, how you guys doing? And I didn't even standing there.
I remember thinking in my head, I was like, man, I don't think I ever want to punch somebody. It's so bad right now. Leave me alone, bro.
But I don't understand. I just got to see it from them, bro. I don't know. I got the Chiefs until somebody knocks them off. Let's go over to. Go ahead.
I'm gonna go against the grain. I'm gonna take the Chargers.
Okay. Let's go AFC. AFC East is the big one. Let's go AFC South.
Yeah.
Who you got with them? I think this is a tough one between the Jags and Titans. That's a tough one.
Actually, I have the Jags this year. I actually have the Jags. Actually, I feel like the Jags might be a top 2 seed this year. I feel that offensively they're ready to explode. They have all the weapons that they needed. Everything that they need is in place. I think defensively they got really better. I hope that their defense gets better this year. I think that's the only thing holding them back. And at the end of the day, Trevor Lawrence in that playoff game last year, he showed that he can play under fire and he can come back. He can lead a team. You know what I'm saying? Because that drive he put together against the Chiefs, in the playoffs where they were literally getting their ass smacked the whole first half, and in the second half they came out guns blazing. I feel like if they can play with that all year, I really, really believe that the Jags have a really good chance of doing some things that is going to surprise some people this year.
So I hear you on that. I think Mike Vrabel is one of the best coaches in the NFL. I really like him. He's like no nonsense. I don't know. I like his vibe for that team. I got the Titans. I feel like last year they were really hurt. Even when the last game of the year, Tannehill wasn't playing. I think that the Josh Dobbs was starting their last game of the year. Now they got D-Hop. D-Hop said he was calling everybody on the phone. He said, I called the Chiefs. I called the Niners. Nobody wanted me. I think he got something to prove, and the Chiefs definitely could have used him on Thursday. And I still think Derrick Henry got something left. I'm going to go with the Titans, but I definitely think the Jazz will be right there too. Probably around the 10 mark, both of them.
Definitely with the Titans, because at the end of their defense hasn't changed, so they're still good. But I just said, like, I don't know, man. Calvin Ridley coming back. I think Calvin Ridley is going to be a big X factor for the Jags because the rest of receivers were balling, and now you have a elite receiver at that position and damn near uncoverable because this boy be running the shit out of people. Like, I can't wait to see it. But yeah, I definitely feel that Titans pick. I do feel like their whole team has some more to prove. I just want to make sure.
I think they got one more run. Yeah,
Yeah.
I think they got one more run in them.
Yep.
Let's go to the AFC North. Deshaun Watson with the Browns. We got Joe Burrow got his bag this week too. He's the highest paid quarterback, highest paid player in the NFL now. It's a lot, bro. The Steelers been talking a lot too. Who you got? Ravens, Lamar Jackson. This is a tough division. This might be the toughest one. I'm gonna be honest. This might be the toughest one.
It is because I feel that the Cleveland's actually gonna be really better than they were last year than this year. But I'm gonna keep it a bean with you, bro. I completely believe in Lamar this year. I think Lamar has something to prove. I feel like he has a big chip on his shoulder because everybody's been saying like you make it to this point and then you get hurt and your team don't do shit. I feel like he's been hearing all that rumbling, and I feel like Joe Cool has been, he's been killing it for the past couple of years. So I kind of feel like I hate to say it, but I feel like the Bengals might kind of skate, like just kind of just go with the flow and, take it as it is because they know they're going to be in the playoffs. My pick is actually the Ravens, even though their defense is kind of going to be struggling without Hart Humphreys. But I think that the new system with Todd Monken and what the kind of high-flying offense that they're going to have is going to have a chance for Lamar to kind of flourish and really let that ball go and also let his feet go. And I feel like with this Ravens team, now that their defense is kind of lacking, I feel that having a more fast-paced offense, more opportunity to score, more plays being ran is going to be good for them. I feel that, and I feel honestly, I think Lamar is still one of the most talented quarterbacks on the planet right now. So,
yeah, this is probably the toughest one for me.
I completely understand.
I can't unsee what I saw from Deshaun Watson last year and how bad he looked. He looked terrible.
Trash.
And I was like, is that the same guy that was on the Texans? Like he didn't even look. He looked unathletic. He looked lost. Like I didn't even recognize him, to be honest with you. I'm gonna go with the Steelers. I'm gonna go with the Steelers in this division. I like what I've been seeing with Najee and Warren in the backfield. I think Najee. I think he's gonna have a little bit more. I was kind of down on him. We talked about this a little bit earlier in some pods, but I think he's gonna bounce back a little bit. Kenny Pickett, I think he's gonna take a leap. So I got the Steelers, but I also see the Bengals right there. They might get 2 wild cards out this division. Truthfully, they might get 2 wild cards.
And I can definitely see that. The only reason why I feel like it's going to be hard for that is because I feel like this division is going to beat up on itself, hella bad. Just it's one of those things where it's so crazy how now, if you notice, every year there's like 2 or 3 divisions where all the teams all of them in that division are good, and they beat the shit out of each other before they get to fucking playoffs, and it's all bad. Yeah. So. Like the next division we're going to talk about, so it's like same shit. I think
same thing. Yeah, same thing.
But I completely agree. That's a good pick. The Steelers honestly was something I was thinking about, but I just feel like the Steelers is kind of in the same boat as like the Jags. They got to show us something right now. I just feel like I believe the Jags were a little more prepared because of their quarterbacks a little more ready, but I feel like the Steelers advantage is their coach. I feel I will stand by this and say Mike Tomlin is one of the greatest coaches we've ever got to see in our lifetime. So
for sure, that was his first time missing the playoffs last year in his entire coaching career. So,
bruh,
who can say that? Who can say that? Crazy. All right, so let's go. Last one, AFC East. Aaron Rodgers has been in my phone every time I open it. I see Aaron Rodgers' face talking or something about the Jets. So, are you going with the Jets? Are you the Bills, Dolphins? This is a tough one too. Who you got? You want me to go first? I could go
yeah,
first.
I'm gonna let you go. I'm gonna let you go first.
All right. I do not believe in the Bills, and I just don't see it. And if you look at their weapons, I don't. Okay, outside of Stephon Diggs, like who are you excited about? Like in their division, I would take the Jets weapons. I would take the Dolphins weapons over them. I just feel like they just want Josh Allen to do everything. They want him to do everything. And I just don't see it. They lost Tremaine Edmonds to the Bears. They lost some other people on their defense. Like I'm not seeing it, bro. So I'm going with the Dolphins. I know their running back situations, Mostert, Jeff Wilson, A-Chain, like I don't know, but I'm gonna believe that Tua stays healthy, and I'm going with the Dolphins.
All right, so I'm gonna just give you, for me, I completely on board with you in not believing in the Bills this year. I feel that there's some infighting within the team that we don't know about that's going on, which is causing a lot of these stories to come out. Because if you ever noticed that all the past off seasons that they had, we never really heard too many stories like this. And I think that's going to be something to kind of affect them. But me having to pick a team who I really want, and I believe that this is going to happen, I'm going to go with the Jets. I think that A-Rod, I think regardless, A-Rod is one of the greatest quarterbacks we've ever seen play. As long as you put talent around him, I feel that he can ball, and a defense that's really good, because the Jets defense is fucking good. More opportunities in his hand, the more opportunity he has to score. And I will say this kid Garrett Wilson is special.
I took him. I had to take him in one league. I had to grab him. I feel like he's gonna have a crazy Devontae Adams, Aaron Rodgers type year. I had to grab him.
I feel like Rodgers is grooming him for exactly that. He's putting him in all those positions. He's I promise you, he probably told him to go home. I want you to watch my MVP year tape, and I want you to watch Devontae and watch everything he did, because if that year, I honestly say, if they didn't give Aaron Rodgers the MVP, it should have went to Devontae, because he was going crazy. You know what I'm saying?
He's crazy. And he's wearing 17 too. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And I think the kid is young. He's talented. And I think he loved watching Hard Knocks. Of course, is what it is. But I watched his love for the game. And I think that's going to separate him from a lot of these other receivers, because he's very humble. He very loves the game. I've seen, like, dude, I remember, like, he scored that touchdown. He was like, man, thank y'all. Thank you. Hell yeah, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like, it was one of those things. It was like, bro, do you not realize you him? You know what I'm saying? Like,
he don't even know yet.
You could be a little cocky, but I'm gonna say the Jets. Just because the Bills, I feel like they got some things to figure out. I'm scared of the Bills. For me, the Bills is probably the biggest thing. The only thing about Miami, I'm at the point where I feel like if Tua gets hit, it is a wrap. Like I don't. That's my whole.
He learned how to fall. He learned how to fall this summer, bro. You didn't see this. You just said he learned how to fall.
Hey, I heard that story. I said, how do you learn how to fall? Somebody explain this to me. How do you learn how to fall properly? You learn how to fall correctly. But I will definitely have to say that I'm definitely gonna go with the Jets, just because I feel like it's a shiny new toy, and it's a new toy that I want to play with. So, and plus, I got Aaron Rodgers and Garrett Wilson stacked up. Yeah, so I need it.
I can see it. Yeah, I can see it. I think Stephon Diggs wants to go to the Cowboys with his brother. I'm gonna just throw that out there. I could definitely see it. I just think he wants to go there with him. I'm not saying this year, but I could definitely see it next season somehow, some way.
I think he's just tired. I think he's just tired of getting there and losing, because this ain't the first time it's happened to him. It happened to him in the Vikings before he came over.
Yeah.
AFC Championship game, loss. NFC, he did it in the NFC Championship game with the Vikings, loss. He went to 2 AFC Championship games, loss. Keeps getting sunned by the Chiefs. And the fact that I feel like he's seeing that they're not doing, because him being there for that long, he's seeing that they're not doing something that they need to do. So I feel like that's where he's at. But I personally feel, and nothing against James Cook, because I feel like James Cook is going to eat this year. I personally feel that he was upset that they did not sign James' brother and bring in Dalvin, because I feel that that's what the Bills are missing. If they need a fucking running back, a very good one, and run the ball, with a legit running the ball, a running back that can really do some shit, because they've been over here doing a makeshift, fucking straight up two band-aids and one piece of tape type of running game, and it ain't gonna always work. You can't throw the ball 60 times a game, bro. You just
can't, especially in the playoffs. That's where they struggle a lot. They've been calling the Bills. Remember them Utah Jazz teams that win 60 games and lose in the playoffs? They've been saying that's what the Bills are. They win 12 games and lose like the Donovan Mitchell Jazz teams.
Be the best runner-up ever, bro.
Yeah. So quickly, man, you want to give me your wild cards? I'm gonna give you my NFC wild cards. I still got the Vikings, I got the Seahawks, and I got the Cowboys. Those are my 3 wild cards.
Mine is definitely the Cowboys. I'm definitely going to go. I'm only why I'm going to say the Bears, because I did pick the Bears to win the division, but I don't know exactly what's going to happen. So I'm going to go Bears. I'm going to go Bears and Lions interchange, kind of one of those, because I feel like one's going to win, one's going to go to the wild card. It sucks to say, because I don't think the Vikings are really going to. I think the Vikings are going to get played out of a position. I don't think they're going to have a bad season. I think they're just going to get played out of it. And then honestly, my last one, dude. Super hard, man. Like, I don't really know who to pick, but you want to know something? I honestly think I might have to give it to the Giants again. I might have to give it to them, making it back. Because like I said, I feel like that's their MO. You know, that's their MO. So,
well, Waller, his hamstrings hurt again. So shout out to Josh McDaniels on that one, and Ziegler to get him out of here. Hurt again. No surprise. Hurt again. AFC. I got. This is a tough one, man. So I think the same thing you said with the Lions, Bears. I'm gonna go interchangeable with the Jets, and Dolphins. Whoever wins the division, I do think the other one will get the wild card. And then the North, man, I got the Bengals. And then I got the Jags. So I don't have Lamar in the playoffs this year, which is it hurts me. It hurts me to say.
So with my prediction of Lamar winning his division, I'm going to give them that. I got the Bengals. I have the Bills, and I do have the last one's hard for me because I did expect, like I said, I expect the Jets to kind of win. But I have the Chiefs because I picked the Chargers to win. Ooh. I think the AFC. I feel the AFC wildcard games, I feel like they're going to be the best games out, because I feel like it's going to be a bunch of teams that have potential to win the Super Bowl playing each other. I feel like that first round of a lot of good teams. I feel like that first round of playoffs is probably going to be some of the most exciting football that we probably ever get to see.
All right, a couple more things. Super Bowl pick. My Super Bowl pick this year, I'm going. I tried to not go with the Eagles, but I just don't see anybody in the NFC. I'm sorry, Niners. I just don't see anybody beating them. I think they're going to go back. So I got the Eagles in the NFC. And then in the AFC, I got the wild card Cincinnati Bengals getting there. And I think the Cincinnati Bengals beat the Philadelphia Eagles in the Super Bowl.
So this is the craziest thing, and I really believe this. I think AFC wise, I think we're gonna see the Bills make a wild card run. I think even though they have the infighting and everything that's going on, I think if they don't win the division, it's gonna give them a hunger, and they're gonna have to really fight for it. And so I really believe that they can make it if they fight. I feel like at the end of the season, if they fight, they can make it, because I do think they're honestly one of the top 3 teams in the league right now. And then on the other side, I feel the same way. I'm sorry, man. Eagles is what it is. If anybody, people can pick the Niners all day, I get it. I said, but until that quarterback situation is really proven, you can't sit here and say that. And at the end of the day, I stand by this, and I'm gonna say it. The Niners front 7 is good. I still think their secondary is fucking ass. So, and at the end of the day, if you don't have a secondary to cover nobody, you ain't gonna win no fucking games. Let's just be honest here. You might skate through the regular season, but when it comes to the fucking getting to the Super Bowl, somebody gonna expose that shit. And I don't think that they have the secondary to win it again. I think they spend too much money up front in other departments and they just forget about their secondary. So I'm gonna have to go Eagles and Bills. And I honestly, and this is gonna be the hardest thing to say, but I think the Bills are gonna win it, bro. I
Oh,
think the
okay.
Damar Hamlin thing is coming. You know, it's gonna be a storyline. A lot of things is gonna happen. I think this is gonna be the Bills' year. After everything they went through in the offseason, and they're gonna turn around and win it. I do think the Eagles are gonna actually be a forever runner-up team right now. But I won't.
We
Like I
both have
said,
them.
that's a prediction. That's to be a prediction, but I can, like I said, I can see it go either way, Eagles or Bills. I can't really sit here and put my hand on it. But if I have to pick one, I'm going to pick the Bills just because I feel like they deserve it the most right now.
Yeah. All right. So you got the Bills winning the Super Bowl over the Eagles. I got the Bengals over the Eagles. We definitely both believe in the Eagles. I could see the Niners, Saints, second round. I could see that right now in New Orleans.
Yeah.
Hey, man. I can see the Saints making a run. So we're going to see. NFC got a few teams. The Saints could definitely be surprised too. But that's it with football, man. Before we get out of here, I want to also just touch real quickly on the FIBA loss. We
I don't
lost to
think you
Germany.
understand how. I don't think you understand how stupid I felt. Because remember, I said like a couple episodes ago, we were bred for this shit. Like, ain't nobody beating us. I remember saying it. I can literally go to the clip and say where I wasn't even worried about that shit. And then to wake up, getting ready for work, and get a notification on my phone that we're down by double digits going into the fourth, I was lost.
The first clip I saw, Dennis Schroeder was going 1-on-1, looking like wait, and he doing step back. He would never I didn't even know what I was watching when the first clip. I was like, okay, let me turn this on. I was like 7 a.m. Let me just say this, man. Everybody just assumes that if we just send our top guys next summer, that it's just a guarantee. Like, oh yeah, send Steph, send KD, send Bron. I would say we still only have like an 85% chance of winning it next year. And in 2028, we are in real trouble. And I promise you, I say that not saying like, oh, we're caught or it's over for us, but every NBA or every team has multiple NBA players. Like if you look at Germany, they had the Wagner brothers, they had Schroeder, they had Tease or what I forget his name. He was on the Celtics and Rockets. They have everybody has everybody has 4 or 5. Yeah. They have 4 or 5 players. Canada got 8 guys who they're playing in the morning. They got 8 guys, and they didn't even have Jamal Murray or Wiggins. So nobody's scared of them like it's the 90s anymore. But I just say next year for sure is like an 85% chance. But we need to get bigs that are aggressive because Jaren Jackson Jr., Defensive Player of the Year, was getting cooked. He had 0 rebounds damn near. So I don't want to hear you're the best defensive player in the world, supposedly, right? Because world champ, so he's the best defensive player in the world. He can grab 2 rebounds.
You want to know what fucked up Jaren Jackson Jr.? The clip where Anthony Edwards in practice and he went up and dunked on that man and he would try to contest the shot and Anthony Edwards comes out and said, defensive player of the year, my ass. Bro, I was saying, as soon as that happened, I knew teams were going to attack us on the inside so much. It is fucking horrible. But to go on your point of what you're saying is, I think people need to realize that basketball, yes, we dominate, but we have so many more international people in the league now that you would be surprised. And they're good. It's not just like they're pushovers. And at the end of the day, they walk into this with the chip on their shoulder, knowing that the USA is meant to win it. So they walk in with a chip on their shoulder. So once they go to play us, they're up for that game. Them boys is ready. You know what I'm saying? And it also gives some of these players who are on these international teams who may not be the biggest name in the NBA a chance to fucking do some shit and turn out and get a big contract when they come back to the NBA. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. You know what Shooter was doing. You know what he was doing. Oh, they signed you and let me go? They signed you and let me go? All right, bro. Hey, all right. You know what I'm saying? Like, and I think you're right. Like you're saying, sending LeBron and Steph and all them. Like I'm gonna say like this: we said LeBron and Steph and them. I'm not gonna sit here and hold you. I don't think we're gonna fucking lose. To be honest. But
85% is still really high. But like I'm saying,
I only say that because in that situation when we were down last night, if LeBron and them and Steph was there, Steph's hitting 3 straight threes. We back in the game. This shit is over. You know what I'm saying? Like, you don't have to worry. But I feel like on this team that they had, they don't really have that. All these dudes that are playing for us right now are either stars on their own team or really, really good role players on their team. I never believed in Jaren Jackson Jr. as a fucking defense player of the year. He was smoking weed, saying that shit. He got that shit just because I feel like they didn't have nobody else to give it to at this point, and he was just kind of stat stuffing. Anthony Edwards, I feel like he still has a lot to learn. He's good. I feel like BI, nobody's ever gave BI the confidence to be BI like he really should be. I think Jalen Brunson is a great player. But I also think that there's a lot of the guards out there that can hang with him. Obviously, that's what we're seeing. Austin Reeves, just because you made a fucking run and you beat the fucking Warriors, you had one good series, all of a sudden they think he's the fucking truth. Like, come on, bro. Like, let's be honest. There's so many other. I could take a whole nother team and put it together, and I feel like we'd be good. You know what I'm saying? So I think that they kind of went into the mentality of we're the USA. Let's just fucking go out there and do it, and they got punched in the fucking mouth. You know what I'm saying? And at the end of the day, it's a wake up call. Like, let's be real here. You know what I'm saying? We're all athletes. We all play this game. We're all things. And it's crazy. I seen they said about that track dude who talked about the world championships. They're making him look good right now. You know what I'm saying?
They're not world champs. What are they the world champs of? That was funny. Right. But yeah, I say 2028. We in real trouble, man. I watched. Yeah. I coached AAU for a lot of years, and I the pipeline that I see. I don't see any bigs. When I was in the high school, when I was coaching a lot of high school games, there's not a lot of bigs that are aggressive, that, want to play nasty, like a lot of these European Fiba bigs. So we're going to have to send like Draymond and Bam or something like that, because these guys, Jaren Jackson, no shade. That wasn't his best moment. But yeah, that's it, man. Before we get out of here, man, I want to shout out No Cap, our guy, Ed. No kizzy. This is his shirt right here. Let me stand up, give him his full.
Hey, let me. I didn't get to put mine on. You know what I'm saying? We got it all. No cap out here, yes, man. Hey, shout out to my boy Ed. A quick thing rundown on Ed. Me and Jeremy grew up playing basketball with Ed, and it was like kind of an older somebody we looked up to. He was let me tell you something about this dude. He's probably about 5 foot, 5'2", maybe.
Yeah.
This man used to be out there cooking anybody and anybody. He is the definition of no fear on the basketball court, and that's why I loved him. And he made me feel that as somebody at my size, because I'm not too much taller than him, I can really, really make it anywhere that I wanted to, because he used to step on the court, no fear. And he used to go at everybody just as hard as he would go, just as hard as he could. And I loved it. And he's always been a great guy. I love Ed, man.
Yeah. For me, Ed he was playing pickup with my dad before I was really even old enough. So, they would play like 10 games, and then that last game, everybody would start to go home, and they're like, all right, you can play. That's kind of how they used to do me. Yeah. And they'd be like, oh, you're his height, so you got to guard him. I'm like, I got to guard Ed? Like, why I got to guard Ed? Like, he had the craziest handles, and his finishes around the rim for his size, bro, it gave me a lot of confidence that I would be able to do that. His sham guard that he used to do, I'm not gonna lie, I do it all the time, and it's because of Ed. So I want to give him his props, man. Give him his flowers. Every court in Fremont, I knew I'd run into him, whether it was Lake Elizabeth, Irvington Community Center, Washington Park, anywhere. I knew Ed was going to Silman Center. I knew I was going to see Ed. He's a legend in just, basketball in our hometown. So salute to you, Ed.
Yeah, definitely one of the lines of what me and Jeremy say, Fremont legend, but also a very stand-up man. That's one thing I would say. He's always been cool, always been the same way. I actually, before we started this whole podcasting, he was doing a podcast, and I was on an episode with him and his boys, and that was cool. So I definitely am gonna, that's probably another one of our guests we will get on here soon. Just see, I definitely want to give y'all a rundown of the Fremont legends, since people don't really know about where we're from. But he's a great guy. I definitely appreciate the shirt, man. Definitely appreciate it. I was already known for the dress when he came to the house. It's like so. But hey, man, Ed, thank you for the gifts. We definitely love you. We definitely appreciate you. But man,
let me give the Instagram real quick. No cap apparel _ clothing. Again, no cap apparel.
We'll have that pop up for you guys, so everybody can definitely go. Hey, follow him, fuck with him. He got some nice shit, man. That was just one shirt I showed. He has
no
some
cap all real _ clothing. Yeah.
Salute, Ed. Right now, this fucking that nip shirt.
Oh, that's hard.
Yeah, bro. I'm for sure probably gonna rock this.
That's hard. That's hard. Man. Yeah, salute to you, brother.
Man. Shout out Ed. But yeah, man, that's it, man. We had a great day. It was another great episode. But like what I tell y'all every time, man, please like, subscribe, comment. We appreciate all the love we've been getting. We see them views going up, which is amazing. I hope you remember one thing. Hope y'all set y'all lineups. You know what I'm saying? This will be coming out. Lineups. We are recording this Saturday, but it will be out Sunday. So set that lineup. Make sure you don't, make that mistake. Football is back, and that's what we are so happy about. But man, with that said, what Rashad always likes to tell y'all, make sure you take care of yourself, because yourself is the one who matters the most. So with that being said, this is No More Timeouts, and we are checking out. All right, boy. Peace.